Hello, Pokemon trainers. Welcome to the King's Court. Okay, oh man, I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually really annoyed. This video was supposed to go up Saturday. Now, Saturday is usually the days where I like to upload my Pokemon VGC gameplays. That's my Path to Power series. Okay, I'll get this out of the way because we have been going up the subscribers lately. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for clicking on this video. And if you're a returning viewer, hi, how you doing? I hope you're having a good week. Um, here on the channel, I like to do what I call the Path to Power series. Basically, it's a series where I try to climb the online Pokemon Scarlet and Violet VGC ladder, and overall just try to improve my own skills by coming back here with commentary over my gameplay, as well as trying to point out mistakes I made and what I would do differently. But anyways, the point is, why I'm bringing this up now is this is part 32, and this video was supposed to go up Saturday, but oh my god, I don't know what the heck happened, but there was like an issue with the frame data or something. I don't know what it was, but I had almost a half hour's worth of footage all ready to upload. But every time I uploaded it, only 9 minutes of it was uploaded. I don't know what the heck happened. So I tried as much as I could to salvage as much as I could, but I lost two of the games because this first game right here is one of them that I managed to salvage, thank goodness. But the other two lasted almost 20 minutes each, but I doubled the speed, so it came out to like roughly almost 20 minutes for two games. But I lost the footage, and they were really good games, so I'm actually really annoyed by that. I already had another game that I was saving for the next upload because I basically record these over the week. That way I can pick like the best ones. And so I usually do a best 3 out of 5 because I just feel like it's more entertaining that way. But this week, not only is this video going up a little late, it's gonna have to be best 2 out of 3. So I'm so sorry, but the next video should be up on Saturday as scheduled. Thank you so much, though, for clicking on this video. We really appreciate it. So let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions, like any like teams you want to see me try out. Because I've mostly been focusing on using Giratina lately, because Giratina is my favorite Pokemon. But if you got any recommendations, I'd love to read them. This is a team a little bit different than the one I used last week. Last time I was using a team with Mimikyu, I changed it up because right now we're in regulation set I, so we're allowed to use two restricted Pokemon. So I decided to use Koraidon this week because a team that's been doing pretty well lately is using Koraidon to set up the Sun, and you have your Fluttermane and your Raging Bolt, or like any of the Paradox Pokemon really, to set up the Photosynthesis. So it's kind of like that concept. So I'm trying it out here. I'm using Giratina. I'm still using the trio, the best mons, basically Rillaboom, Incineroar, Rapid Strike, Urshifu, as well as Raging Bolt and Koraidon. Yeah, like I said, if you got any recommendations for any teams, let me know. So, right here I'm doing okay. My opponents sent down Zamazenta and Urshifu. Right now, I should be able to knock out the Urshifu easily with my Rillaboom's Grassy Glide. And I want to burn the zombies because that's also really quick. Sorry if you heard anything in the background, car going by. My Giratina, what I like to do is burn. Like, I usually use like a Pokemon that I could like set up some kind of hazard, or I use like Incineroar or something to fake them out, and then have Giratina come with the burn. And it's really good for situations like this where I'm facing down two pretty heavy hitting Pokemon that are more physically offensive, especially Urshifu. Because man, Urshifu could just clean teams on its own if it's set up the right way. Luckily, they're both burned now, and the Zamazenta especially I'm glad about because if I'm not careful, Zamazenta will just like spam Iron Defense. But luckily, now that it's burnt, not only will that whittle down its HP every turn, but also I'll be able to use Hex to basically hit for double damage each time. And I just sent down my Incineroar, which will bring their physical attack even lower. So I'm in a pretty good position right here. Let's see. So my opponent's going to withdraw their Urshifu to send out their Rillaboom. Okay. So I'm going to fake out the Rillaboom, and they're going to go for the Heavy Slam. And yeah, Hex is going to go off right here. That did a pretty good chunk, actually. So that's really good for me. But they will all gain HP back, but that's fine because I want my Giratina to gain HP back as well as my other Pokemon. for situations like this. So basically just gonna go over the hex again, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm just gonna go parting shot because if my opponent, yeah, because so they switched out to Zamazenta. Basically, I was thinking if I could just like parting shot their Rillaboom, their attack will do almost nothing. And right there, the Grassy Glide almost knocked out my Incineroar, but it didn't. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go for the parting shot right here, which will lower down its attack and pivot out my Incineroar. This way, I can just put out my Urshifu, and even though Rillaboom's grass and Rapid Strike Urshifu's water, obviously, and the terrain is set up so Grassy Glide is active right now. Okay, it's gone now, but basically this way, even if though it'll be hitting for super effective, it won't do as much. So my opponent's gonna send down Zamazenta, and I'm pretty much just thinking whether or not just to go for the Zamazenta or just like burn the Rillaboom. So I'm just gonna detect right here because I was expecting them to use like Woodhammer or something, and they go for, and there's Zamazenta tried to use Body Press, but thank goodness for the detect. Yeah, this is like what I like to do right here, detect, and now my Giratina just go for a hit. One more hit, and that will take care of the Zamazenta. And don't forget, I still have my Incineroar, so I'm in a pretty good position right here. Because, like, I'll just lower down their. Yeah, I'll just switch out my Incineroar, even if it gets knocked out. Okay, so, I pretty much got that right there. Yeah, basically, I would have sent out my Incineroar. It would lower their attack down even more, and my Giratina would just finish off the Zamazenta because their Rillaboom really couldn't do much to my Giratina. So that's game one, and now we're on to the next game. And my opponent's going to start off with Iron Tusks, I believe. Yeah, Iron Tusks and Solgaleo. You don't really see Solgaleo that much. These days, you see Lunala like way more often than Solgaleo. So this is actually pretty interesting. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna burn because they're both physical attackers. So I'm just thinking I'll just burn the Iron Tusk because I was thinking it's probably running like Bulldoze or Earthquake or something like that. So I'm just thinking I'll just burn it, and luckily the Intimidate already went off, so its physical attack is already being brought down. So I'll fake out right there and have my Giratina burn the Solgaleo. I want to burn the Solgaleo for this is why because of its sunset strike, I believe. Because it pretty much has the same ability as like Clear Body, so Intimidate won't really do anything. So that's why I want to burn it first. That way its attack will be cut in half because Solgaleo is the physical attacker between it and Lunala. So that takes care of that actually. So I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna terrestrialize here because I didn't terrestrialize at the beginning because I knew I was gonna fake out. Plus, I wanted to like play with my opponent's head a little bit, make them think I wasn't running terrestrialization on, or who was I gonna use it on. I ended up going and using it on my Incineroar because I was thinking that they're probably gonna go for, like I said, Earthquake or something, and no for Bulldoze, and that's fine because one, it hit their Solgaleo, but it will set off its ability, its weakness policy. I mean, which stinks, but luckily its attack is cut in half, so this could have been a lot worse. And it's gonna go for it again, and it got a crit too. But luckily, thanks to it being burnt and my Giratina just being super bulky, and now I get to burn the Iron Tusk too. So luckily, thanks to all that, it worked out for me, and I'll be able to knock off the Solgaleo. But unfortunately, I should have went for Flare Blitz. Unfortunately, the Solgaleo already used its weakness policy, so that really didn't matter. I was really thinking it was running like Choice Band or something. So I'm thinking I could just go for it again, but I'm thinking I should probably take because they're both burnt. So, and I was thinking the Solgaleo is probably going to go after my Giratina again, so I'll protect here, and I'm just going to go for Flare Blitz on the Iron Tusk. Yeah, okay, so the protection and and my Incineroar is going to go for Flare Blitz, and it knocks out the Iron Tusk. All right, cool. So they're down one Pokemon, and I'm in a pretty interesting position. And the burn's gonna kick in again. Honestly, if I could just like play my cards right, I could just focus on their next Pokemon and just let the burn take care of the Solgaleo. And they're gonna send out Venusaur. I guess because they saw my team and they saw that I had Koraidon, they thought I was gonna like send out Koraidon at first. So if I had to guess, most likely the Venusaur is Choice Scarf, and Chlorophyll, if I had to guess. So I'm just gonna go for the knockoff from the Solgaleo again, and they're gonna go for the Sunset Strike again. And it's actually gonna go for my Incineroar, and it was a crit too. I think that crit might have mattered, but I'm not sure. And the Earth Power is going to go off and hit my Giratina, and it's also a crit. Dang. Two crits in a row. Jesus. But I'm going to go for Pain Split to bring down the Venusaur's HP to give back to my Giratina. And Solgaleo is going to get hit again by the burn. So, and I'm just going to put out my Rillaboom. I was a little hesitant to do this because I didn't want to give their Venusaur more HP because at the time I wasn't sure yet because I only seen it use one move, so I wasn't sure if this was like more of a physical, like more defensive Venusaur, or if this is more like Choice Scarf Chlorophyll kind. Later I figure out it is Choice Scarf Chloroform, but at the time I wasn't sure, so I didn't want it to get HP back because I knew it would be difficult to deal with. But I decided just to go with it anyways, and unfortunately my Rillaboom did get poisoned. But I did fake out the Solgaleo just so I could have Giratina protect. That way you'll gain HP back from the grassy terrain and from the leftovers. But unfortunately poison will hurt my Rillaboom. So I'm thinking I could just burn the Venusaur and just go for like a grassy glide. Yeah, even though because luckily my Rillaboom's attack is like average right now, like no intimidate one. Okay, so that takes care of it because I was a little worried, but I got the crit. This whole game is nothing but crits, and they're gonna go for Sludge Bomb again, which will unfortunately knock out my Rillaboom. But at least I took out their Solgaleo, and I get to burn their Venusaur. So they're down 2 Pokemon so far, and I'm gonna gain HP back thanks to the terrain. So I'm pretty happy with the way that went through. That went about. We're both down to 2 Pokemon. I have my Urshifu left, and they have Sneasler. I haven't seen Sneasler in a while, not since Regulation H started, when restricted mons were first allowed. So it's kind of cool seeing it again because I actually used Sneasler a couple of times. I actually like it a lot. I'm just gonna detect right here because I want to burn the Sneasler because I know how this Pokemon works. Because like I said, I've used it before, so I know it wants to like fake out, and I had a feeling, yeah. So it was gonna fake out because on my Urshifu, obviously, because Giratina's Ghost, so that obviously it wouldn't do anything. So I knew they're gonna go for Urshifu, and so the detect's gonna go off, and I'm just gonna get to burn the Sneasler for free, basically, which is what I wanted. And I was hoping my opponent was gonna do. And the Venusaur is gonna gain HP back, but so will my Giratina. So it's pretty much a free switching, and also we're both down to our last 2 Pokemon, so I don't gotta worry about any more fake outs because they have no more reserves, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. And they already terrestrialized too, so that's good for me. So I'm thinking I could just go for like a close combat or something, and they're gonna go for the Dire Claw, but thank goodness for the burn, making it half as strong. And I'm just gonna go for the Surging Strike. And 2 hits took care of the Sneasler. Thank goodness this thing can't really take a hit. And I'm just going to go for a Hex on the Venusaur. And Sludge Bomb will go off. And yeah, I'm just going to go for a Hex right here. And it got pretty close to knocking it out. But they were holding the Citrus Berry. I thought it was holding Choice Scarf, honestly. So, let's see. I'm thinking I could just. If I had to guess, they're probably also running like Sunny Day or something like that. So they probably didn't want to waste a turn because I could have just like easily just hit it or something. Like with both my Pokemon, I mean. So I'm thinking I could just close combat. Because, okay, and the battle's kit, so I managed to get that. I was basically thinking, you know what? Because now I know it wasn't holding the scarf, my Urshifu could easily just close combat. I don't think it would knock out, but it would have brought it down to enough damage to where my Giratina would have taken it out. So, yeah, GG, I'll take it. That was a really good game, actually. So, yeah, again, sorry for this only being kind of a short video this time. Again, I don't know what the heck happened. I'll have to look into, make sure it doesn't happen again, but Thank you so much if you made it this far, and if you're watching this. And overall, just thank you so much. We're really close to already hitting 650. So if you haven't already, we would appreciate it if you would like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great week. Take care. Bye.